How many diets do you think the average adult has tried in their lifetime? One recent survey of 2,000 people found an answer to this question, and I think you might be surprised how high that number is. In fact, I polled a lot of people on my Instagram and nobody got it right. I was personally shocked by this. What the poll found was that the average person tries 126 diets in their lifetime. What that looks like is starting at least 2 diets a year throughout your adult life. The survey also found that these diets do not last. In fact, most people give up on them after just 6 days. And the big reason that happens is that most weight loss fads and strategies set you up to fail. Throughout 2024, I've seen 5 key trends on the rise that I believe are going to be the reason millions of people continue to struggle with their weight and with their fat loss. And today, I'm going to reveal what those 5 trends are so you can avoid them at all cost if you're trying to lose weight in 2025. Then once you know what not to do, I'm also going to walk you through the 5 things you should do or you should be doing if you want to guarantee you'll reach your goals this year. So if you want to avoid the worst fads in nutrition right now and get out of the frustrating pattern of weight loss and rapid weight gain for once and for all in 2025, make sure you keep watching. Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andres. Typical introduction, I'm a registered dietitian who mainly works with men over 30 to help them get the physique they want, get a six-pack without fats, fasting, or cutting out foods that they actually like to eat. On my channel, I make videos to simplify fat loss and give you the actionable science-based info you need to make sustainable progress. So if that sounds like what you're looking for, make sure you hit subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Over the past 12 years that I've been working as a weight loss dietitian, there's one thing I've found that sabotages people's progress more than anything else, and that's fad diet plans that lure people into promising quick results and then keep them stuck in a cycle of losing and regaining the same 20 pounds for years. As we get into the first few weeks of 2025, this is a time of the year when people are looking to make changes with their nutrition and get serious about their weight loss goals. And I know how tempting it can be to do something drastic with your nutrition. A lot of the marketing around fad diets make it seem like they've found some secret to weight loss that's finally going to make it easy. And I know how appealing that is when you're struggling with your weight and you want to feel better fast. But the truth is that there is no secret to weight loss. In reality, all diets work the same way. They modify your nutrition so that you eat in a deficit of calories or a calorie deficit, which means burning more calories than what you consume from food. They may have different approaches to do this, but at the core, this is the main principle. So then the real question of weight loss success isn't what diet is best for fat loss. What is most important is figuring out what pattern of eating that allows you to eat in a calorie deficit and sustain that deficit long enough to lose the weight that you want. Plus, it's also essential to find a way of eating that is enjoyable enough that you can maintain it for the rest of your life after you finish the weight loss phase and you shift into maintenance mode or some other goal that you may have. Over the course of the past year, there were a few weight loss methods I noticed getting a lot of attention that I believe are going to be detrimental for the majority of people in this new year. And today I'm going to be breaking down 5 of these trends or approaches to nutrition that I do not recommend if you're trying to lose weight or trying to get fit this year. Of course, I'm not saying that some people won't be successful with these approaches because most of them or a lot of them may be. I'm just saying that there are downsides that many people don't realize when they embark on these plans. But first, before I get into those 5 specific fads to avoid, I wanted to give you a few general guidelines for when you're looking for a diet plan or approach and trying to judge if it would be effective for you. The first thing is to steer clear of any approach that promises rapid results with an unrealistic time frame. Fast weight loss might look desirable. I promise it does, but it's going to cost you to lose muscle along with fat, and it can have major negative impacts on your metabolism that make it much more likely that you'll regain the weight. Second, avoid overly restricted plans that cut out entire food groups, as these can lead to nutrient deficiencies and are just simply difficult to sustain long term. Third, be cautious of anything that is sold as a magic pill solution like detox teas, fat burning supplements, because if it sounds too good to be true, it is. And finally, don't start a diet plan that you wouldn't be able to stick to for at least 6 months. If a plan is so restricted that you dread eating that way long term, it's likely not going to give you sustainable success. But now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the 5 nutrition trends and diets that I do not recommend you to try. The first weight loss approach that is massively popular right now is using GLP-1 agonist drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, and there's a bunch of other brand names. These medications work by suppressing appetite and regulating blood sugar, typically leading to significant weight loss. Now, I don't have any issue with people using them when they really need them. In fact, I made an entire video about this a few months ago. For example, people who are carrying so much extra weight that is putting their health at risk. Now, what I don't recommend this for is for people who are turning to these drugs for vanity weight loss just because they want to lose a few pounds. Of course, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that if you want to slim down or a bit or for purely aesthetic reasons. You can choose to lose weight for whatever reason you want. But the issue with using GLP-1s for mild weight loss is that it doesn't really address the root cause of the problem, like poor nutrition habits, lack of exercise, or a negative relationship with food. When the medication is stopped, many people will regain the weight because they haven't really built the habits to sustain the weight loss long term. So you basically have to keep paying huge amounts of money because it's expensive to keep taking the drug if you want to keep the weight off. And I have continuously seen this in people, not only in clients who've worked with me that came to me doing the drug, but also who chose to have it or done it before and they gained the weight back. To be honest, to me, is not really what freedom with your food and weight might look like. I know this is a huge topic that I don't really have time to discuss more in detail today. So again, I have a whole video on GLP-1 drugs. If you want to go check it out and you want to learn more, I'm going to add that in the description box so you can go and watch it. The second weight loss approach that I would not recommend you to try in 2025 is the carnivore diet or other animal-based plans, but specifically carnivore diets. You've probably seen these kind of diets on social media with people eating huge plates of eggs and steak or biting into sticks of butter or, I don't know, liver. The carnivore diet involves eating only animal-based foods while excluding all plant-based foods. And of course, a lot of other carbohydrates and things like that. Now, advocates for this diet claim it leads to weight loss, reduced inflammation, and improved energy, but there is essentially no research to back up these claims. While it might be causing some rapid weight loss because of how restrictive it is, and you likely lose a lot of water weight at first because you're cutting out all carbohydrates, it eliminates nutrient-dense foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains that are essential for gut and heart health. It could work for weight loss because of the strict rules force you to cut out many calorie-dense foods that people commonly overeat, like sugar and refined carbohydrates. But this level of restriction is going to be unsustainable for the majority of people, not to mention it can be very socially isolating to eat this way. There's so much more to say about this diet, so if you want to do a deeper dive, I actually released a full video about it recently that I'm going to also link below. The next type of program I do not recommend encompasses a few different diets, but they all take a similar approach and have similar drawbacks. And that is commercial diet programs like Optavia, Herbalife, SlimFast, and any other program that is built around pre-packed calorie control meals and strict eating plans. These programs are going to be marketing in full force at the beginning of the year, and they usually promise fast and significant weight loss. And they might actually give you great results if you're aiming for quick weight loss, mainly because they drastically cut your calorie intake. The problem is that the reliance on packaged diet foods makes it hard to transition back to normal eating without regaining the weight. These programs typically don't teach the sustainable habits necessary for long-term success, so keeping the weight off depends on continuing to buy their products. Even so, sometimes they market them as they will teach you how to keep it off when in reality they don't, particularly Optavia, and I've had tons of conversations about this. So while the fast results can be tempting, you might find yourself locked into continuing to spend money on the special diet products or risk yourself losing results by going back to your regular diet. Like the previous two approaches I mentioned, I also have an in-depth video where I break down the entire Optavia program and everything you should know if you're considering starting this diet. If you're interested in that, add the link in the description box as well. The fourth weight loss approach that I do not recommend if you're trying to lose weight sustainably is intermittent fasting. Stick with me here because I'm not saying this one is all bad. This has been super popular in recent years, so I'm sure you've heard about it. But basically, it involves cycling between periods of eating and fasting, and there are various ways that you can structure this. Some people do OMAD or one meal a day, and there's also 16-8 where you fast for 16 hours with an 8-hour eating window. Then you might also have heard about the 5-2 where you eat normally for 5 days of the week and significantly reduce your calorie intake to around 500 calories for the other 2 days. A lot of people claim that these timing strategies boost fat loss results, but in reality, the timing alone won't produce significant results if overall calorie balance isn't managed. But the amount of weight loss is similar to that achieved with traditional calorie restriction strategies, aka just eating less calories without timing windows. So why do people rave about intermittent fasting? Well, simple. Intermittent fasting is a calorie management strategy. By restricting eating to a certain window, it can make it easier for some people to just simply stay in a calorie deficit and avoid overeating. Again, we're adding rules to certain things. I actually practiced intermittent fasting for an entire year while completing my master thesis on the very same topic, so I know a thing or two about it. Not only that, but inside our programs, we teach our clients how to incorporate it into their lifestyles when it makes sense with their goals and their needs. So I'm definitely not saying that intermittent fasting is bad. I just want to make it clear that to succeed with fasting, you need a well-balanced eating plan, not just a clock, and simply skipping meals without understanding your nutritional needs can lead to overeating during eating windows or coming up short on essential nutrients that your body requires. And finally, that brings us to our last nutrition fad to avoid in 2025, and that is AI-based diets. With the boom of artificial intelligence or AI, something I've seen recently is many companies around the health space providing AI-based recommendations and solutions for weight loss, which makes their plans seem personalized when in reality, you're not really getting the benefits of a real human coach with a nuanced understanding of weight loss, nutrition, and mindset. One way that I've seen AI be integrated into personalized nutrition or personalized coaching is with continuous glucose monitoring devices or CGMs, where they will provide personalized recommendations based on your blood sugars. There's also an app that I've come across called Snap Calorie, where you take a picture of your meal and then the app uses AI to analyze the photo and give you a calorie and nutrition information. Now, while it's a cool concept, it's not going to be perfect. If you're tracking everything you eat and not losing weight, but you're using an AI app for tracking, that's most likely what your problem is. Here are a couple of other examples of AI-based coaching or personalized advice that I feel like you should steer away from in 2025, or at least be careful. Lumen is a company that has a device called a metabolic analyzer that measures your CO2 production and gives you automated recommendations based on how you metabolize food. This is a bit simplistic and a bit complicated, and the research behind it as a portable device, I feel is not there yet. Another AI-based tool is genetic testing and providing personalized nutrition recommendations based on that. There's no research yet to support personalized diets based on your genetics. You can understand your genetic makeup better based on certain DNA markers and testing results, but to go as far as providing an entire dietary plan based on it lacks the scientific evidence to support their efficacy. I personally think AI is a powerful tool and there are ways to integrate it to reach your health goals, but it's not a magic solution or something that can replace human guidance, support, and accountability. Using AI-based apps for writing creative weight loss plans for me and ChatGPT, for example, isn't going to be one thing that helps you finally reach your weight loss goals. And it might even set you back, since I've noticed, for example, that ChatGPT often gets calorie and nutrition information wrong when it's putting together nutrition plans. Okay, now that we covered the 5 nutrition approaches, I wanted to share what you could do instead of these diets to get results in just 5 simple steps. If you do all of these for at least 30 days in a row, I will be shocked if you haven't noticed changes in your body and how you feel overall. Number 1, choose a dietary regime that emphasizes protein. You can follow basically any pattern of eating you want and still get results, but a plan that's high in protein will make weight loss a lot easier. Protein is key for building and maintaining muscle, supporting recovery, and keeping you fuller longer, which helps curb overeating. I would focus on including a source of protein at every meal. Think lean meats, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, tofu, or protein powders if you need something quick. Not only will this boost your metabolism, but it'll also make a calorie deficit easier to stick to. Number 2, move your body every day. Let's stop overcomplicating things when it comes down to exercise. The first step, if you're currently not on a regular routine with exercise, is simply moving more. It doesn't have to be intense or complicated, just focus on consistency, even if it's just getting out for daily walks. I recommend things like finding activities you enjoy, so moving more doesn't necessarily feel like a chore, and things like getting involved with a recreational sport or running around playing with your kids. Even if you don't add any structure exercise, if you pair more daily movement with the dietary tweaks I recommend, you're going to start seeing results in 30 days of doing this consistently. Number 3, add more whole foods and limit highly processed foods and cook more at home. Whole foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats are honestly loaded with nutrients that fuel your body and improve satiety. On the other hand, highly processed foods are often low in nutrients and fiber while being high in added sugars, unhealthy fats, and sodium, which can contribute to weight gain and inflammation. Plus, they can disrupt hunger and fullness cues, making it easier to overeat and harder to maintain a balanced diet. Along with those changes to your food choices, do your best to cook at home more. Home cooked meals mean control over ingredients, portion sizes, and overall quality. When you're aiming to lose weight, I recommend limiting meals out to 3 at most, but even less if you have a tighter time frame for your weight loss goal. goals. Number 4 is incorporating resistance training. Lifting weights or doing bodyweight exercises or resistance exercises help you build and maintain muscle, which can lead to boosting your metabolism and creating the lean athletic look that a lot of men and women are aiming for. I typically recommend lifting 3 to 4 times per week depending on what your schedule allows, and focusing on progressive overload, which means gradually increasing weight or reps to keep challenging your muscles. Resistance training is honestly something that I just recommend for longevity. It's been shown in research that people that lift weights and build good quality muscle mass live longer. And the last one I'm going to give you that I think is so important is to get accountability. I highly recommend finding someone to hold you accountable in the weight loss process or achieving these goals. Whether it's a workout buddy, a coach, or simply telling a friend or your partner about your goals, accountability helps you stay consistent and committed. It's easy to make excuses when no one's watching, but having someone check in with can be a difference between sticking with it and giving up too soon. Accountability is one of the main reasons that working with a coach is so effective and why the men in our coaching program get such unbelievable results. You'll have someone who's checking in with you, making sure they're staying on track, giving you the guidance when you run into roadblocks. Now, of course, it's possible to succeed at weight loss when you're doing it on your own, but working with a coach accelerates that process because you have a proven method that's been tried and tested by hundreds of other people who were in your exact same situation when they started. Now, our coaching program, which is called the Fit That Blueprint, is 16 weeks long and is designed to help you drop 10 to 30 pounds, build muscle, and optimize your hormones with a specific focus on testosterone too. This program is for dads and just men in general who fully committed to transforming the body right now, rather than letting another year go by feeling stuck in the same negative habits. So if that sounds like you, I'd like to invite you to book a call with me and my team to see if we're a good match to help you out and give you the accountability and support that you need. I'll drop the link to book your slot in the description box below. But with that, I think we'll finish off the video for today. If you have any questions about these diets and weight loss strategies I talked about, leave me a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. I couldn't get into all the details and research behind each one because this would have become way too long, but I will be happy to expand more in the comments or create more follow-up videos around this topic. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year, and I'll see you again in next week's video.